This is an All Sports Station production.
Men ready to do battle. It's time to dance. And we are underway from Atlanta. This will make it into the end zone. And they will elect to not bring this one out as our first drive will begin at the 25. Matt Ryan, the longtime Falcon, a veteran who's been in the league since '08, ready to guide this Atlanta offense.
I always enjoy reflecting on Matt Ryan's career at this stage because when he came out of the draft, he was the number 3 pick overall. There were plenty of doubters out there about whether he should have gone in that slot. I don't think you can find any of those doubters now. One of the top quarterbacks in the NFL.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. The snap to Jones. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Get used to that, folks. The Falcons are going to look number 11's way early and often, and he's onto the stat sheet already on the first play from scrimmage.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. That catch good for only a couple.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Flag comes out, and that's because the offense did not get the play off in time.
And you can see the head coach, he is not happy. Everyone getting away from him right now because he's frustrated that they didn't get the ball snapped in time.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down. Third and 11, and some extra depth in the secondary here. They're in the dime. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, the Falcons trot out the rookie punter from Syracuse, Sterling Hoffrichter. Tariq Cohen is deep for the Bears. Stiff-armed him. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Mitchell Trubisky taking the field to lead Chicago. Trubisky, the Ohio native, went to North Carolina, then drafted by these Bears as the #2 pick in 2017.
When I talk with people around the league about Mitchell Trubisky when he's coming out of North Carolina, those that had questions about him, it often centered in on the fact that he was only a one-year starter and wondered why he couldn't beat out the guy ahead of him beforehand. I just locked in on the athletic ability, the accuracy, and then once he got the football, how the team responded to him. I think his upside is big.
Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Pretty good first down play. Keeps them ahead of schedule, as they say.
And ostensibly, they could go right back to it because there are multiple options on this play. Hand it inside, quarterback tucks it and keeps it, quarterback throws the ball downfield. You should be able to react to the defense and have an option available on every snap.
From the 27, Trubisky looking middle, and it's incomplete.
That was well defended. They clamped down on every available receiver. Just got to give the win to the defense on that snap.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
And that's exactly what defenses talk about. You've got to find ways to get off the field when you can, especially on 3rd down. And 3rd down defense going to be vital in this game. Able to knock that one away and force a 4th down.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. So for the 2nd time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to go on the field as opposed to sudden change after a turnover. And wow, now we've got to go out there and stop people. So, yeah, there's always something positive to be gained from it.
Here's a throw, complete right side to start things out. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. From the gun, Ryan. Oh, Ricky nearly had the pick. Probably should have had it. 3rd down now.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bears sack. It's Khalil Mack that time, shooting in there to get him to the ground.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's Sterling Hoffrichter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And the first drive, 3 and out. 2nd possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how the defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a play to take note of there for the defense. I think in the future, if you're going to try and block him, maybe you get a guard to help double team him and try and steer him out of the play. They should have done it on that snap.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Trubisky to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost as bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 14 yards in a Chicago 1st down.
I would think that by now people are done underestimating Tariq Cohen because of his stature when they see him at about 5'6", 5'7". But he can do it all. He can run inside, run to the perimeter, but he also catches the ball really well out of the backfield. And he had more receptions than carries last season. He kind of looks like Darren Sproles, who's been his inspiration as an NFL player. In 2018, Tariq Cohen was a Pro Bowler as well.
On 1st down, Trubisky. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Out of the gun, running with Cohen. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. From midfield now, here's Trubisky. The connection made. It's Graham. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First down, a run with Cohen. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Now Trubisky sliding out of the pocket. He'll try and run it. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22. From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. The third down battle won by Atlanta's defense. Solid coverage.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the third time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the first quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. This is up and good from Pinheiro. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about.
What was that, Russ?
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So a special teams mistake on the field goal try leads to a new set of downs inside the red zone. Now it's Trubisky. Flushed out right. And now he's going to use his legs. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's second down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
The ball on the 8. Still could get a first down technically. 2nd and 7. On second down, Montgomery. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Now it's Trubisky. And he will score. Touchdown, Chicago. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Bears have taken the early lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll drop to throw. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down.
We'll put that one in the win column for the defense. Trying to contain tight ends in the passing game is so difficult nowadays, but they did in a big way there.
At the 23, it's 2nd and 12. Now a handoff for Gurley. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss there. Now 3rd and 14.
Think it might be time to move to a different section of the playbook there because back-to-back runs, both for loss. Now they have 3rd and long coming up.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Ryan. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Blowing that play up, Roquan Smith as he gets the sack.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on here to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. So now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Trubisky will throw. And Graham's got it. Complete. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. That one unable to develop. Never got going. A loss of a couple. And it's 2nd down.
In today's NFL, we're accustomed to the tight end getting downfield and creating plays and wreaking a little havoc in the secondary. Not on this one, though. They diagnosed that one really well.
Tried the dump off. Lost yardage. 2nd and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. To throw again on 2nd down. Trubisky. He was trying to find Anthony Miller there. 3rd down here.
Receiver coaches preach to their guys all the time. Separation, that's what's going to make the play successful. That time there was very little, and I think they were actually fortunate that it was only knocked away and not intercepted.
The Bears on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is third down and 12. Here's Trubisky. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Bears defense now back onto the field. And they've created a major first-half storyline with the pressure they've been able to create.
And I know that the good teams adjust from series to series. They make their adjustments on the sideline before they go back out. In this case, I think they might need a little bit more time. They want to get to the half and start figuring out how do they change protections, how do they get the ball in the hands of the passer a lot quicker, make sure he doesn't get hit as often, all those different things. Maybe even run the ball a little bit more, anything to try and tamp down the pressure.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Akeem Hicks in there to bury him for a loss of 11.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely he's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Play action. It's Ryan. Man open. That's Calvin Ridley. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
That's a good bounce-back play right there after taking a sack on first down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. If you're the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
The Falcons on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 2 yards and able to get the first down in the process.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They go play action now. Ryan airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Now Gurley. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It's caught. Jones. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
Catch there by Julio Jones, and let's face it, we're almost running out of ways to say he's great. So let's put it into this context. 3rd among active players in receiving yards, starting 2020, just 852 yards behind tight end Jason Witten.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield now, here's Ryan. To the right side and complete to Hurst. And he'll get it down here to the 43. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 32-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag because when you do, you can just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He's up over 50 yards receiving now in this first half. It's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. And it will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. 8 yards on the touchdown pass. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. So that one a long 11-play drive. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Chicago offense set to get started. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 27. And from the shotgun, he'll throw. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
The Bears on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, Trubisky. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line. He's back to throw here to start the drive. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Now Ryan on 1st down. And it's incomplete. It's a dangerous pass. That's what it was. And it brings up 2nd down.
Well, he did almost everything right. Excellent coverage, breaks on the football, just unable to haul it in and take it the other way. So he dropped an interception. The key for him now, don't dwell on it. Just move on to the next play.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Ryan caught by Jones. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. The Falcons on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's 4th.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will carry out of bounds. Where are they going to spot it now? At about the 18-yard line, it looks like. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays for one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Tack McKinley. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility, the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down and make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
On second down, it's Cohen. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
Well, they went back to him, but the results were similar, so I highly doubt that he'll get another opportunity here on 3rd and long.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 17. From the gun, it's Trubisky. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And out of bounds across the 15-yard line. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, standing just outside his own goal line. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Atlanta prepped and readied for its next possession. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 40. He gives to Gurley. In on the stop, the former Georgia Bulldog, Roquan Smith.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he can't escape the pressure. Ryan goes down. To Sean Gibson. Give him the sack on the safety blitz. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Going to flare this one out to Gurley in the flat. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one good for only 6, and it leaves him with a 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. All knotted up at 7. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Now Trubisky on first down. He finds Robinson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. David Montgomery, the target out of the backfield, but it's going to be second down. So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Trubisky to throw. And he finds his tight end, Graham. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target, and he didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
The connection made. It's Graham. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So second and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Again, it's Trubisky. Well, this is a catch by Ted Ginn. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. This will be caught just inside the 10. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. Second and 2. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
This will be caught at about the 6. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. That is hauled in by Jimmy Graham. Touchdown, Bears. Jimmy Graham as the first half is winding down. And the Bears have taken the lead.
You get down near the goal line, this is where having a sure-handed tight end becomes a luxury, and it pays off big time, especially when the defense sells out against the run, and he finds himself open for an easy touchdown.
Pinheiro now to add the extra point. And he's got it. It's now a 14-7 ball game. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown for Chicago. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. From the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4. Final play of the half. It's Ryan. So we reach halftime with the visiting Bears out on top here. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We just watched a fine first half from quarterback Mitchell Trubisky. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This taken in about 4 yards deep. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Now, that's a run that warms a play caller's heart because you're actually set up to do whatever you want on offense. You can come right back and run essentially the same play because you have momentum, or you can fake that running play and throw something deep over the top, or you now feel like you have an extra down to play with because if you go ahead and just throw it and you don't get it, you come back and try and pick it up on third down.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the first down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Nice satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
Working with 2nd and 5 now. Now they'll throw it with Trubisky. That is caught by Cohen. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Well, that was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? Second and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on first down. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Tyler Davison hauling it off the edge to sack him. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Now a shotgun handoff to Cohen. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
He may try and run for this. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the first down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. So we get set to start this 3rd quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Up past the 25 to the 26, a gain of 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Gurley now out of the gun. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
First and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They go play action with Ryan. And he hits his target. This is Luke Stocker. A gain of 6 there on first.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
He got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
The Falcons send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So possession goes over here on the punt, and it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. Onto the field now come the Bears. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. A play fake to Montgomery. Now Trubisky rolling to his right. He's going to take off with it. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
They go play action with Trubisky. His throw incomplete. He was trying to get it that time to Ted Ginn. And it's 3rd down. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. From the shotgun is Trubisky. He'll buy some time right. He can run for it, and he will. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. It's a 42-yard punt. They keep him to just a yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Gurley's got the 1st down and then some. And he takes it across the 50 to the 46-yard line. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Stocker's got it, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Now a draw play for Gurley. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Ryan. Jones has it. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Ryan. Brings up 4th down. Solid coverage by the Bears D.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
And we'll see Younghoe Koo now for the Falcons. From the left hash, this from 46. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. The Chicago offense set to get started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. He'll begin by dropping it off to Montgomery. Following the penalty, Montgomery. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
That was a terrific play, causing a loss. As a middle linebacker, simple. You can either fill holes or you can attack them, as he did there.
Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Now Trubisky. And his throw here is incomplete.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Two things you can do in that situation: run and punt the football, or try and take your shot at getting the first down. They chose the latter, but they'll have to punt all the same.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. Oh, look at the juke. That'll be a 41-yard punt, 4 yards there on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's Gurley. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run, because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Offensive line wasn't set. There's the flag, and 5 yards back they go.
Quarterback has to look around and make sure that his team is ready to go. Sometimes the quarterbacks go faster than is necessary.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters, as they'll try again now. 3rd and long. From the gun, Ryan. And that will be incomplete. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Deion Jones coming in hard there on the blitz, and he gets him 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Trubisky. The pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Well, that's Grady Jarrett who forced his way through to register the sack. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. Oh, they come after him, and it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. Touchdown, Falcons.
Partners, you well know, every block punt wasn't necessarily a called block. Sometimes the guy just finds his way back there. Doesn't matter. The play happens, and that one turned into 6 points because they handled it so well after the block.
Now Younghoe Koo for the extra point. And we are tied here in the fourth quarter. Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. Taken in the end zone. And Patterson will not return it. It comes out to the 25. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. Gann has it complete. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Ted Gann, 75 yards. And the Bears have broken the tie. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use than that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. One of the shortest drives you'll ever see. One play, 75 yards, 6 points. After the touchdown, on is Pat O'Donnell to send this one away. And this carries into the end zone. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Falcons ready to take over. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll throw from the gun. Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that's caught inside the 30. A big-time play there for the Falcons. 48 yards.
Not sure much more could have been done there defensively. One up with him, tried to knock it away, tried to get an arm in, unsuccessfully.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Ryan. This one caught by Ridley. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another connection between the two. This one good for 12 and a 1st down.
I like the design that we're seeing right there. This is what they need. Down by a touchdown here in the 4th. They just need to keep working their way downfield. And when they see openings, take their shots.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. He's going to have the hook up to Gage. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Second down from the 8. They can get a 1st down by reaching the 5. Gurley. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching, and there's another 1st down run right there.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first. And that will be taken in by Ridley for a Falcon touchdown. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Falcons are an extra point away from tying the football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Coup for the extra point. And no sweat. He puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. From the gun, he'll set up to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
The coverage was good, but I just wonder if they absolutely fooled the quarterback on that play. I think he was expecting something else, ended up with nowhere to throw the football successfully.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Play action. It's Trubisky on the move to his left. He'll run it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
The Bears on 3rd down. They've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This will be 3rd and 5. This is going to be incomplete. And that is too far out in front of his intended target. Incomplete. Here's Pat O'Donnell now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now we'll again see Calvin Ridley in the Falcon offense. They have to like what they've gotten from him in this game.
Think about the accumulation of catches.
8.
The yards per catch now, because you're getting more than a first down every time he's touching the ball. This is the kind of game you want when you're able to throw it out wide.
Absolutely. Over 100 yards, has the 8 catches. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Short throw underneath to Hurst. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. From the shotgun, Ryan. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've had a lot of chances, but not much success, converting only 3 times. Here it's 3rd and 3. And that is incomplete. And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete. The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to kick it away. The Bears offense ready to get going again. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now, but let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. Trubisky brings the Bears up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Now Trubisky to Cohen out of the backfield. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down. This defense tightening up a bit. That last catch just 1 yard, making it 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Trubisky. And able to find Graham, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
They'll run on first down. Montgomery. And he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well.
This is unbelievable.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Throwing here, Trubisky. The connection made. It's Graham. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now Trubisky going to give this to Montgomery. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Gets this to his running back, Torrey Cohen. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now a handoff for Gurley. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
Ball at the 24 and a 2nd and 11. Another carry now for Gurley. And once again, he's going to be stopped up behind the line. Second straight play. Shades of the 85 Bear defense a little bit.
Partner, one thing I was lousy at growing up, track and field, I could never anticipate the start before a race. But how about that backer? He figured it out, jumped the count, and turned it into a really nice play for his defense.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Now Ryan. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
So a challenge is upon us. I tell you, close game, 4th quarter. This is a huge decision.
Oh, no doubt about that, partner. A lot has to be riding on this call. And you know it is a tight one because it has to be indisputable visual evidence in order to change it. Now here's the big question. Do they actually have that evidence?
I'm about to find out. And the challenge pays dividends. The ref overturns the play.
Everyone gets a bonus on this one, Brandon. The coach upstairs who signaled down and said challenge it, and the head coach for pulling the red flag.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. On 1st down, Ryan. A slant to Jones. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan, he'll find Jones again, complete. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Now Ryan. He'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Partner, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to the workhorse today. It's Gurley. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Line of scrimmage, the 36 on 2nd and 8. Again they run with Gurley. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. So on the heels of the run by Todd Gurley, another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll be stopped short of the 1st down, right around the 18-yard line. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
Got a quick flash about being in their huddle. Whatever the play call was, it was tagged with these words: make sure you stay in the middle of the field. That's where we want to be.
And he did just that. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. He missed his only attempt earlier. This time he's going for the win. And it is good! He splits the uprights on a chip shot. And the Falcons are going to win the game. Well, a little drama there at the end, but really this thing was already decided. The late points get scored, and then it ends on the kickoff.
And I'm right there with you, partner. At the end of the game, they knew what they had to do. Just make sure you don't cough up the football at the end. Just take care of it, and victory was theirs, and that's exactly what they did.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.